Hello, welcome to Keys for Winning. My name is Prince Abah. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about a very interesting topic titled Shun Ignorance. Shun Ignorance. And I'm going to start by telling you a simple story. Now, a fateful day came where a young man decided to go on a trip. He was going to embark on this trip via ship on the sea. So he boarded a ship and paid his fare and got on board. And when the ship began to sail, the young man, began to have his meal, as it were. In the course of having his meal, he observed that a group of people were in very beautiful dining, having very amazing, meal. And he looked carefully and said to himself, I wish I was on that table and I wish I was having this sumptuous food. What was this young man eating to start with? He was eating what you call biscuits, right? Crackers. He had a lot of crackers tucked into his sack, and at intervals he would pull some chunk of the crackers and begin to eat. Long story cut short, this journey lasted 3 months. 3 months here means 90 days. The day to the end of the journey, a gentleman walked up to this guy and said, hey, friend, I've observed you for the past 3 months. You've been on this journey with us and you've been having your crackers all through this journey. Crackers and water. Why? Have you not thought it necessary to come meet us at the dining table where we have sumptuous food, beautiful drinks, nice wine, and amazing cuisines? Why are you not coming to join us there? And guess what the young man said? He said, I would have loved to come eat with you guys on that beautiful table, but I have a challenge. I have a problem. And the man asked him, what's the problem, sir? You don't like the food? He said, no, I love the food. I mean, each time you guys get on the table to eat, the aroma and everything gets me salivating, but I just can't come because I don't have the money to pay for what you guys eat. And the man stared at him and wondered, is he not aware? Doesn't he know? And then he asked him, he said, sir, did you pay for this ship? Did you pay your fare for this ship? He said, yeah, I paid my fare. And of course, that was all I had. I couldn't pay for the food, so I just paid for the fare. And in shock, the gentleman said to his friend, oh no, didn't you know that the day you paid for your fare, you also paid for everything you would eat and drink on this journey? And that means your fare covers not just for this transport, it also covers for everything you would eat for the 3 months of this journey. You can imagine how sad this guy would be feeling, or could have been feeling, hearing such a thing. And of course, that was the last day of the trip. He has no more time to recover for all the food and all the drinks he had missed. What's the moral of the story? Ignorance is a terrible disease. As a matter of fact, nothing has the power to keep people low like what they don't know. The greatest mountain standing in the way of people is not necessarily mountains of demons, witches, and wizards. Why I believe those exist? I believe that most people don't have a problem with demonic or witchcraft afflictions. I believe one of the greatest witchcraft affecting people today, especially people from the black race, Africa as it were, is the demon of ignorance. Someone rightly said something, and I tend to believe this statement and assertion. He said, if you want to hide something from a black man, hide it in the pages of books, because the black man has a very low drive for learning and for knowledge. What is ignorance? Ignorance to me is simply defined as what you deliberately ignore to know. So ignorance comes from the word ignore. Ignorance is not necessarily the absence of knowledge, because knowledge does exist. Ignorance is the deliberate refusal to know and to acquire knowledge. So ignorance simply means to ignore knowledge. When you ignore knowledge, you become a victim of lost opportunities. You become a victim of lost success. You become a victim of failure. You become a victim of all sort of things. Just like the man on the ship, he had paid for all the food, but because he did not know, he lost every meal he should have had on that trip. If you have no drive for knowledge, I want to tell you, you will not go as far as you dream. No matter how much you dream or wish to be successful or great, you have to know that it takes knowledge to move you from where you currently are to where you want to be. Knowledge is the bridge that moves you from your dreams to your actualization. Knowledge is the dreams that turns your vision into reality. So if you have a vision and if you have a dream, if you have a goal, if you have a prospect, if you have something you want to achieve in life, you have to go on a search of information, go on a search of knowledge, go and find what it takes to achieve what you want to achieve, because without knowledge you can achieve anything. All right, you must give attention to information. The world today is busy running in a rat race circle, as it were. We hardly have the time to sit down and read books. We hardly have the time to sit on the mentorship. We hardly have the time to go for conferences. We hardly have the passion to go for seminars and courses just to build ourselves and to acquire knowledge and to acquire wisdom. What's my word to you today? As you step out, as you do whatever you do, have it at the back of your mind that an ignorant man has no future. Have it at the back of your mind that a man who lacks knowledge will be ruled by those who have knowledge. What people would use to rule you in life is what they know. I mean, people rule over people based on what they know. All right. If I knew how to produce the phone, I would not pay Steve Jobs for his phone. All right. I pay him largely because I don't know how to produce a phone. All right. So you tend to lose money to people that know something that you don't know. All right. So, and you tend to lose opportunities also to people who tend to know something that you don't know. So I want to encourage you to have a drive for knowledge, have a craving for knowledge, be passionate about knowing. If you know you don't know something, ask questions. All right. That's one way to gain knowledge. All right. There are several ways to gain knowledge. One way is by asking questions. Find people who know better than you and ask them. And of course, if you ask in humility, you would get answers. All right. Another way is by reading books. All right. Materials in your field, in your field of endeavor, in your career space, find resources and read them. Of course, thirdly, you have to have value for mentorship. Mentors are people who have been where you intend to be. Mentors are people who have experiences, who have who have access to information that you may not have access to. All right. And you must have value for mentorship. If you want to have knowledge, you have to have knowledge have a drive for mentorship, passion for mentorship, all right? And finally, number 4, you have to be willing to attend meetings, conferences, symposium, seminars, and of course, gatherings where people are sharpening each other with information and relevant knowledge. So shun ignorance, don't tolerate ignorance in your life. Be a knowledge-driven person. Be a person whose quest is to know. Be a person whose quest is to grow. And of course, if this is who you become, then you cannot help but become successful. Until I come your way next time, remember this is Keys for Winning. Keep winning. God bless you.